excuse me. This is not for children. I have to put that warning in there now. So, kids, if you're watching, bugger off. For the rest of you. G'day guys, I'm Googs, and this is The Drunk Philosopher. Today we're going to be talking about Ricky Gervais. Last night, Golden Globes, or yesterday in our Australian time, yesterday morning, Golden Globes came up and Ricky Gervais decided to give his contemporaries a bit of hell. He offended Tom Hanks and everybody else there by making Epstein jokes and basically telling them all to shut their goddamn mouths because their 2 cents worth isn't worth more than anybody else's 2 cents worth. And let's face it, wouldn't imagine there'd be too many political analysts or people with degrees in political science, which means that their opinion is no better than yours or mine. So he was absolutely right on that angle. He roasted the shit out of them. And it's interesting because I've seen both sides of the discussion when it comes to this culture war. You've got the woke side, or the anti-SJWs, however you want to call them, going, Ricky Gervais is a hero, he's a goddamn legend, rah, rah, rah. You know, second coming of Trump, God Emperor. And then you've got the other side saying, he's a bastard. How could Ricky do this to us? Oh, he's a Nazi or whatever. Now, I'm not really going to take either side in this discussion. The main reason being is that I have seen Ricky Gervais pretty much since the beginning of his career. Okay, so we're talking early to mid-90s. I've read a ton of interviews with the fella, seen a lot of stuff that he's done, and quite honestly, Ricky Gervais, if you've ever watched any of his stuff, does not give a fuck. Either way. I'm telling you now, if you're one of these anti-SJWs thinking you've got a great victory and Ricky Gervais is on your side, dude, it's the principles he's held all his life. I'm a comedian. I tell jokes that focus on society and social issues and how stupid the human condition is, which is all he's done his entire career. I mean, just look at The Office, which is one of the first things he did, making fun of, the generic white-collar worker that lives in an office, funnily enough. The guy is a social parody, guy who does social parody, and he's never apologised for anything in his damn life because he's just making jokes. He observes, makes fun of. That's what he does. That's him. That's Ricky Gervais. So people go, oh, he's on our side or he's against us. He probably doesn't give a fuck about either one of you. In fact, I think he said that in his speech. He's going, this is my last time here, so I don't really give a shit. Actually, I never gave a shit. That last line of his from that speech is Ricky Gervais. He doesn't care. It's not that he doesn't have a political bone in his body. It's just the fact that, he likes to make fun and roast everything. He'll roast left, right, centre, whatever. He's a social satirist. So, these people that think that they've won a victory or lost a battle or whatever, Ricky Gervais doesn't care. He just doesn't give a fuck. It's all like this. Today, Jeremy Clarkson, formerly of the Top Gear fame, until he had a famous fisticuff with one of his producers, came out today and he did a satirical article making fun of Australia. Now, you might say it's bad timing, we've got bushfires, but that was part of the satire. See, Jeremy Clarkson is a POM, Englishman, and English people in general love trench humour, okay? They're the sort of people who would be in the middle of a trench in World War II making jokes about, Tommy from three trenches down, being killed, and they'd make a little joke about that. And it's sort of, it's what they now would call edgy humour. It's just trench humour. And the fucking English are brilliant at it. And so he made fun of us as a former colony. He made fun of us for having living in such a hot, dry country. Made fun of the fact that all our animals are really weird and unique. and what did he say, God's abominations or something like that. And it was funny. He was trying to alleviate the painful reality with trench humour. That's cool. I don't have a problem with trench humour. You know, mainly because I've got a funny bone. Actually, I've got two. They're quite humorous. I've got 4 kids. Give me a break. Now, you know, these comedians are coming out, and Chappelle last year was the same thing. Came out, did his social satire, and people forgotten with people like, especially Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is a social satirist. He has made in the past satire that completely makes fun of white culture, black culture, Native American culture, everybody's culture. Why? Because once again, like Gervais and like many other comedians, he's a social satirist. He makes fun of everything and everyone. And especially the more contentious that he can make the humour or edgy, the more likely you are to get people laughing, because the people ultimately are laughing at themselves as much as anything else. Okay, Eddie Murphy was another great example of that back in the day. This is comedy. Comedy is social satire. And 9/10 of all comedians don't care. They're making a joke. It falls flat, okay. It does well, okay. But otherwise, why would they care? They don't. So for all these people that think Ricky Gervais has come out and done something magical and wonderful, he's done what he's always done. He made some jokes, he made some comments, he roasted at people and hammered them around a bit, and just doesn't give a fuck. Because it's comedy. It's funny. I'm Nathan Gooks Fletcher. I am the Drunk Philosopher, and I'll catch you guys down the road. Uru.